Hey, what's going on, everyone? That is a snake that is just basically the emperor of snakes here in the southeastern United States. It's the indigo snake. And look at the, can you see, Matt, just the indigo, why they call it indigo?
And but he just shed, so it's really showing.
Such a gorgeous animal. It's just amazing. You can see her just figuring out the maze.
I didn't even know she was in there.
No, she's in here, bud. And she's going over top. That's pretty slick herself, but she seems to like to go back in. We're hanging at the St. Augustine Alligator Farm and Zoological Park with my friend Trevor, and we're gonna get really in depth into what this snake entails and some of the plights that are actually facing. So stick around. So this is really exciting for me, man. I live in Florida. Indigo snakes are that species I always wanted to see in the wild, but unfortunately, Trevor, these snakes are imperiled.
Yeah, so they're actually an endangered species, and they can only be found in the state of Florida, southern Georgia, and southern Alabama. So they're endemic to our southeast region here.
Very cool, but the problem is there are areas that the snake once lived that it's no longer found in, or it's been extirpated from. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much the Panhandle, southern Alabama, southern Georgia. We haven't seen many snakes in that region.
Okay.
So we're working really closely with government, non-government, and of course our zoos and aquariums to help get them back into these ranges.
Cool, and so what's this gal's name?
So this here is Cora. Cora is our female eastern indigo snake.
Oh, look at her, man. This is such a big, beautiful snake. Yeah, go for it.
So you can see her. So Cora here is going to be our second largest individual here at the park. We actually have 3 indigo snakes here, and she is going to be one of our breeding females. Now she is going to come out, so I'm going to ask you just to step back really quickly so we can let her explore around a little bit.
Yeah, this is what's cool. Now this is an area of the park that is off exhibit.
Of course.
And this is so that this animal feels very secure for her to actually reproduce. That's the goal here. Now we got to be careful.
We're going to step back over this way. So yes, the goal is for them to reproduce. So this is an endangered species, as I was saying. It is also a species that we highlight in our species survival programs and our saving animals from extinction programs.
That's that SAFE program that a lot of zoological institutions are right here. Look at it. Now the thing that I notice about this snake, whenever I have a chance to really see them and be up close with them, is the fact that this is a very active and alert species.
Yes.
It's a diurnal species, isn't it?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. Now it's also the largest. I mean, I got an expert here, so I want to see how much I know. But to my understanding, this is the largest non-venomous snake in North America.
In the United States.
In the United States. Okay. Gotcha. Because North America does count.
Mexico.
Yeah, exactly. I always screw that part up, dude. But yeah, in the United States, this is the largest snake. They can get about 8 foot long.
Yeah,
that's a big snake.
Our male's a little under 8. He's probably around 7, maybe 7.5.
No way. And you know, the cool thing about talking with Trevor is this guy gets really, you're kind of geeking out when you get to talk about indigo snakes.
Oh, I love them.
What was it that drew you to this species?
So eastern indigo snakes, as you were saying, you know, one of the largest non-venomous snakes in North America, but they're also one of the more docile species. As you can see, Cora here, she's our breeding female, right? She is definitely alert that we're in her exhibit, but she isn't going after us necessarily. For our male, when we get our hands on him in a little bit, you'll notice, you know, his calm demeanor.
Okay.
So, you know, it's a snake that really gets, you know, youth and our local communities involved in conservation because they don't necessarily have to be fearful of this snake.
That's really amazing. Now, you just mentioned something that was pretty cool about getting youth interested in conservation, and that's because that snake is handleable, has a good temperament. But actually, the Orient Society, which you guys work hand in hand with, they are actually named after a young lady who loved this snake.
Yeah, so the Orient Society started off as a not-for-profit, basically raising funds to help protect this endangered species. Unfortunately for eastern indigo snakes, because of their look, their appearance, their size, you know, there's a lot of what we call indiscriminate killing. So people, you know, don't want this animal in their backyard, they don't want it around their house, and so they get rid of it the best way they know how. Which is, you know, led to their demise ultimately.
Right, what a bummer.
So, you know, what we try to do here at our park, what, you know, AZA, SAFE, SSP programs are trying to do is teach people the importance of these animals in their backyard and how to coexist with them. right? Because we are also living in their home,
Right.
so we want to make sure that people are able to respectfully keep their distance and basically share the same habitat, share the same home with one another. And I think the best way to do that is through education and sometimes getting a little hands-on with these animals.
Yeah, I love it, and it is truly the emperor snake. I mean, I love the look of it, its face. You can see she's just kind of checking things out and relaxing right now. But the cool thing about this snake, and you talk about indiscriminate killing, most snake bites happen, friends, if you are not a reptile person. If you just happen along this video, most snake bites happen when you interact with the snake. So most people get bit by venomous snakes when they try and remove the snake's head with a shovel from the snake's body. So that's a shame. Now here's another counterintuitive thing with the indigo snake. This is a snake, they call it the emperor for a reason. We've got king snakes in North America that eat venomous snakes, but we also have the indigo snake, which eats venomous snakes as well. So if you educate yourself about what types of snakes are in your habitat, in your backyard, then you can identify them and leave the quote unquote good snakes alone, and they will handle the quote bad snakes. Now, there's no bad snake in my
No
world.
such thing.
Yeah, no such thing. But
if you want to identify them as such,
exactly. You feel free. Just leave the snakes' heads on their bodies. I would appreciate it, and I'm sure Trevor, and more importantly, the snakes would appreciate it, and you'll have a really cool backyard as well. Hey, what can people do? I know part of what you do with the outreach is explain to people how to make their backyards either snake safe or really good habitat for snake. I mean,
yeah,
two
so
things you can do.
There's a few things. So the first thing I'm going to suggest is going on to the Alligator Farm website, alligatorfarm.com, and then go to our safe species page or our research and conservation. There you can actually download a free PDF on how to make your backyard snake safe or snake friendly. There's also a pledge card on there that you can sign yourself and send it to the Alligator Farm. That's going to show your dedication to saving these animals from extinction. So, changing your backyard, making it into basically a wildlife friendly area habitat is basically critically important. You can also go onto the National Wildlife Federation page, and they can also give you steps on how to make your backyard snake friendly.
Well, that's really cool, and you guys know that I love creating a habitat in my backyard. That's kind of what I've aspired to, and I love being able to walk out in my backyard and see different bird species and different reptiles from around the world. But you don't necessarily need to go global. All you need to do is create really good habitat for the animals that live in your neighborhood, and they'll appreciate it, and you'll have this incredible backyard sanctuary, if you will, for lack of a better word. And I think that's a really attainable goal for a lot of people. So many people wonder, how do I do this? How can I get involved in conservation? And that is certainly the first step. Just make your backyard a safe place for animals. Now, you're talking about the conservation of the snake, and since it is such an interesting species and one that we have here in Florida, stay tuned, because you guys are doing a walkathon coming up here on the 5th of March.
Yes, the Raptor Run.
The Raptor Run, and that's going to benefit these snakes. But Kamp Kenan and Matt right over there, we have an idea, and we're going to put something together here. Just stick around, because when we're done talking snakes, we're going to talk about how you can help Matt and I and a bike team raise money for habitat for these snakes. We're going to help the Orient Society out with the help of our friends at the St. Augustine Alligator Farm. So stay tuned. I'll tell you all how to do that at the end of this video. In the meantime, I think it's time we leave this gal alone.
You want to go check out our mail?
I want to see what the dude's looking like, because you said he's a smidge under 7?
Yes. No, a smidge under,
smidge under 8. Okay,
Yep,
I'm excited.
7.5, yeah.
An interesting fact is, since they are snake eaters, you can't leave these two together often.
We cannot. So we actually only pair them during certain times of the year.
Okay.
Right? And that's going to be during our winter months, right? So anywhere from November to essentially February, March, we have a window to introduce these animals together. That's going to be their natural breeding cycle.
Okay, very.
And so we actually introduce our male and our female, Cora over there, and Jerry, you'll soon meet him. We introduced them together in January, and we had successful copulation. So
congratulations.
fingers crossed, thank you. She was looking a little plump to me, so hopefully she's got something developing in her.
That's really cool. All right, well, let's meet what's his name, Jerry?
This one's name is Jerry. Yes,
oh, that's
correct.
my mom's name, Geraldine, not Jerry. But a little shout out to Mom Harkin over there, hanging out.
Jerry here is one in our temporary outdoor basking platforms. So we keep them out here so they can get a little bit of extra UV. Jerry here is actually going through one of his sheds, his ecdysis, and so he's
Hold
gonna be
on,
a little
say that word again. We're learning a new word today.
Ooh, ecdysis.
Not ecdysis. That's right. That's the process of shedding in a reptile, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. Very cool. There you go. Write that one down, kids. Impress your friends and family with that ecdysis.
It's a good one to throw out.
It is good. I like that. I like how you did think I caught it. He's trying to throw the big words without us catching them, man. I love this. Oh, look at that beautiful
So this is our
animal.
male Jerry. Like I said, he's going to be a little peely today, right? We are going to go and pull him out here in a moment. But you know, he's enjoying that UV, that sun. We have a beautiful 80 degree day here. You know, gotta love living in Florida, and so does Jerry. As we were mentioning earlier, you know, these individuals or these snakes are going to be only found right in Florida, Georgia, or South Georgia and South Alabama, right? So they're definitely a species that likes it warm, likes it hot, right? So we only can really bring them outside, you know, when the temperature
allows. Awesome. But again, look at how chill he is, man.
Yeah.
This is really great.
So
Chill
we
in
have
demeanor.
a little bit of his shed right here. If you want to go ahead and
There you go. Yeah,
that's fresh
awesome.
shed, fresh Indigo shed right there.
That's really cool. He is beautiful. Well, I know you also want to show us a little bit more of their habitat, and you've created a really cool visual aid to show people kind of how these animals are. So why don't we go ahead and grab him, and we're going to head on over to this visual aid. I think you guys will appreciate it. We're learning a lot about indigos today. I'm pretty pumped.
There you go.
Awesome. That is nice snake. My goodness. I'm a little jealous, dude. This is, I'll just go ahead, if he wants to flick on me, he can. But is it okay?
Yeah, you can go ahead and help me handle him.
Oh my God. This is the first time, guys, I'm ever holding an indigo snake. And it's one of those species that, you know, I've always wanted to see in the wild. There are some signs.
Yes.
In my neighborhood, actually, there's some habitat that has been designated.
Really?
Eastern indigo habitat. There are signs up. So it says if you see this species, you must leave it alone. Federally protected snake, is that
Federally
right?
protected,
So that-
statewide protected, yes.
Yeah, so that means if you put your hands on it, you could get a lofty fine. So the best thing to do is just leave the snake alone. I'm sure there have been people try to collect these snakes. Leave them in the wild. This is
We need them there.
Yeah, we do need them there because they are, they may not be, as you were talking about, megafauna that people become really enamored by. Well, as far as snakes in the United States, and look at can you see, Matt, just the indigo, why they call it indigo.
And
but
he
the
just shed, so it's
iridescence,
really showing.
Such a gorgeous animal. This would be a snake that I would love to create a beautiful habitat for, but you know, like you said, leave them in the wild because they are, you know, as far as snakes, they're an apex predator in there for their family of serpents here. And you know, we need them out there. Another thing before we go and check out this visual aid that we are delaying because I love the snake is look at his eyes. He has that that scale above his eye that gives him that kind of furrowed look, that like intense stare that you often see on a venomous snake. But here in North America, one of the ways, I wouldn't say it's foolproof because there is one snake that doesn't have vertical eye slits. We're talking about the coral snake, but usually in the United States, venomous snakes have vertical eye slits like your Keystrodon, which is your copperheads and your cottonmouths, and then of course rattlesnake species like the canebrake, the pygmy, and the eastern will have those vertical eye slits. But again, people get worried when they see a snake, especially all those New Yorkers that come down to Florida and they don't know that we got some cool snakes. You know, I can talk like that and why I can call out you New Yorkers? Because I'm from Long Island. There you go. But I learned about snakes and I moved to Florida so I could see them and alligators and all manner of cool animals. All right, so he's being good. Let's get out of here and go check out where these guys live when they go subterranean.
Let's go.
What is the maze for? What are you talking about here, man?
So for our eastern indigo snakes, as we were saying before, we like to get people involved with their conservation, with knowing, you know, what these species are all about. But one thing we always have to take in concern is their welfare, right? And necessarily holding the animal during the entire time isn't always going to, you know, be super conducive to their overall stress levels.
Okay.
So I built this maze so we could both display the animal, right? But the animal can also feel comfortable and actually have a little bit of exploring time.
Okay,
right?
so mental stimulation.
Exactly. You know, that's something that a lot of people aren't aware of is, these animals, we have to make sure that their needs are, accounted for. And this is one way we can do that, right? This is to mimic almost like a gopher tortoise burrow.
Okay.
So gopher tortoise burrows are, found underground, they're subterranean, and indigo snakes will actually use those tortoise burrows to lay their own eggs. You probably saw earlier when we were in our breeding habitat, we had corrugated pipes kind of running throughout.
Yes.
And that's so our female can maybe find a nice spot where she can lay her own eggs.
Cool. So you give her options because they know where they want to lay them. They understand the parameters that they need that we can't necessarily pick up.
Exactly.
So this is really interesting. So you have a clear piece of glass when there are people here.
Yeah, when
they can just kind of watch.
Exactly.
But just check this out, guys. So watch her. Come on in here. It's just amazing. You can see her just figuring out the maze.
I didn't even know
going
she was
through
in there.
Oh, she's in here, bud. And she's going over top. That's pretty slick herself. But she seems to like to go back in. Now, there's a term which I don't know. I forgot the term. The reptiles, they like to feel pressed up against something. Have you ever heard the term? I wish I knew what it was. Someone in the comments below, refresh my memory why reptiles like to have their bodies up against. It's very tactile. Now, the reason they
they're
like
also,
Go ahead, what were you going to say?
They're also ectotherms.
Exactly. So they can actually go up against something that's warm, that's radiating heat, but also they eat, their prey items are rodents. Rodents tend to walk along walls because there is less chance for rodents to be attacked by bird of prey, or at least they know danger's only coming from one side. Well, snakes will do the same thing for the same reasons, but also
doing it right
check her out. She's going towards there because, hey, this is where a potential meal might come from. You never know. Pretty cool stuff, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
You also see, they still got a little bit of shed on them, so that rubbing against basically the sides here is going to help kind of loosen up a little bit of that dead skin on their body. Yeah.
All right, so we have mentioned the Raptor Run, and I just wanted to let you guys know what we are planning to do to help our snakes here in Florida, our indigo snakes. I'm going to ask you guys to join us on this journey. As my viewers know, both myself and Matt are avid cyclists. There's a big race, February 18th. It's the 12 Hours of Santos. It's in the Ocala National Forest, which happens to be a place.
Habitat.
Yeah, awesome pine snakes, indigo snakes. It's a really cool habitat. So on February 18th, we're going to do the 12-hour race. We're going to do a team. It's myself, Matt, it's Kelly Jones, and Jake Zimmerman, which is just some great friends of ours that we're going to do a relay. And it's about getting on the podium. And we're asking our viewers to join us. Go follow the link in the description and help sponsor us, because all the money we raise together through our sweat and misery for 12 hours of riding a bicycle, I want to bring attention to this snake because it's such a cool ambassador animal for our species, our snake species here in Florida, and for wildlife in general. So go follow the link in the description, help us out, because all the money is going to go to the Orient Society, and we're going to build really cool habitat where we can rear these animals, get them head started, and then release them back into Apalachicola?
Yeah, over in the Panhandle.
Okay, we're gonna get these animals repatriated. Do you wanna help repatriate indigo snakes? We've got a really cool group of viewers. They're very active and they are reptile lovers. So I'm relying on you guys to check out the link. Trevor, I really appreciate it. Real quick, how did you get involved in zookeeping and reptiles? Because so many people want to know how to do this.
I've always had a passion for wildlife. Even as a young kid, going to zoos with my family. It's something that just really stuck with me.
Gotcha.
And so as I continued out my career, I decided to invest my time in getting my education. So getting my bachelor's in ecology and then getting my master's in biology. All these steps really helped me learn more about these species and how to protect them and how to teach people how to protect them.
Yeah, you're a great teacher, by the way. Let me know what you guys thought of today's video in the comments below. Shout him out, say what's up to Trevor. But more importantly, follow that link in the description. It will show you exactly how you can help. And then come see me on February 18th. I won't be riding the whole day, so come visit me at the Vortex Trailhead in Santos mountain bike trails in the Ocala National Forest. We love it. I'd love to see you out there. Thanks so much to St. Augustine Alligator Farm. We're going to probably do a couple more videos from here, so keep an eye out for them. In the meantime, let's save some snakes and let the Kamp Kenan Army be felt. We'll see you soon. Take care.